Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Today, I'm going to be going through some mail orders. So basically, I do cheap card sales on eBay. If you want to look through my catalog, it is CHC-49. Starting over here, we have a $2 listing. This was for $8. These are 3 cards that were sold for $8. This was a $15 and this was a $20. So everything you see here was $20 or less. I'm going to show, the different sales points, kind of the different methods I use for when I mail out. I've been selling for about a month now. Starting to get the groove of it a little bit. Still some pointers. If you see something that you think could be a little bit better, let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. So this card was a $2 card. Basically, it was $2.25 plus the $1.32 PWE plain white envelope with eBay. One thing I'm trying to decide on is going down to my ounces. But what I do is for these, anything that's like $3 or less, I basically have in a top loader, having a penny sleeve, and put it in a piece of paper. And I just fold it once. And then I fold it here again at the crease. I try, when they have to be an ounce or less, it's a little bit, trickier. Or 3 ounces or less, so I actually have it at 3 ounces. I've been debating on doing the 70 cent and making my shipping a little bit cheaper. I just haven't figured out what the benefit of that is, just because at least I know how to give a good look, that this will ship even if it's up to 3 ounces, so maybe it's a little bit heavier, it will still ship. And then what I like to do, just for safety, if I can get the tape to go work with me, I always tape it down in a couple spots, like so I know it doesn't pop open. The little piece of paper is just a little bit more of a niche thing for me. It gives it a little bit of comfort room, but anything $3 and less, I really don't put it in a bag. Now, this cut, like this one, is $8. So this one, penny sleeve, it's in a top loader. Now, we'll actually bag this one. So you've got it nicely in the bag. And this one was still a plain white envelope. They didn't want to go up. Anything that's used, mine is usually 15 or less, or $14.99 and less. I offer the plain white envelope. I highly suggest, though, I try to, at least even for bigger orders, that they try to move up to, the $4.95. But when you're spending $10, you're selling these cheap cards, you can get more sales with that $1.32 instead of that $4.95 shipping with USPS. If I can get this edge to go in, get another lick. So, if you're selling cheap cards, you don't want your shipping to be the reason why you don't get it. I'd rather not. I'd rather make the shipping cheaper. If this card was $8, they spent about $10 total with tax and shipping, compared to maybe my competitor who had this card for $7.50, but they had $4.50 in shipping, and they're spending $13 or $14. So there. And be able to get a couple more sales. So those are my 2 plain white envelopes. And then, of course, I'm not going to do it here because I don't want to give it out, but I put the shipping label on top. Now we go into a little bit more expensive range. So this order was an $8 one, but since it was a lot, which meant they got 3 cards. They do get it in a little bubble. I'm actually, I've been doing this for a month now. I've been buying 3 of these at a time for $1.15 CVS. I'm actually probably going to go up and buy, a larger quantity off of Amazon. You can get way more, like 100 for like 15. While I was trying to get this settled out, wanted to see how many of these I actually use. I actually use these quite often. So 3 cards. This person got a Jordan Love, a CeeDee Lamb, and a Justin Jefferson, the rookies. One thing I've learned is I actually do really well in selling lots. And so people, these cards were probably $5, $1.50, $1.50. Like, these weren't worth anything online. And I just boosted them together because they're all the rookies and did it for $8. Or I did it for 10. Person counter with 8, I was okay with that. That's kind of, starting off trying to make some sales. That's what we're trying to do. So now that I have it in a bag, anything that I put in here that is not like, PSA'd, I always try and give it a little bit more sturdiness. So I will put it in cardboard. What I try to do is just go side, 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 side. So try to make it as firm as possible. Keep this from kind of bending. And then take this off. I probably should have kept that on because sometimes the cards like to stick to it. And then we just stick it in there. See what I'm talking about? I probably should have just kept it on, but that's also why we do bubble wrap. If I can get it in there, good Lord. It is not wanting to go in there. I don't think I made it too thick. There we go. All right. That took a little bit longer than I thought. Just gonna put it there. Boom. Then we'll ship and label right there. Next, so anything that I do over $15. So this card is sold for $15. I actually literally got this card like 2 days ago from a lot and already sold it. And what I like to do is, 15 or more, I always like to throw in a freebie. I didn't have a card that was similar, so I didn't have a Harold Fannin. So what I do is, same team, little Cedric Tillman. I mean, this card was like $1.20 maybe, could be sold for. I mean, it's not worth much. So just add it on. I add it below it. Just gives them, an extra, an extra card. Hopefully, try to get a rebuyer. And then same thing, fold it down. Same thing. Get it how I want it. And the main point of this cardboard is really to make it where it doesn't bend. You don't want these cards to come out all warped. So that's why I like to do it. Gives it a little bit extra protection. Now we're not going to take this off. We learned that mistake from the last time. All right. Go ahead and open this up in there. Same thing, then you just fold it down, add an extra piece of tape, and voila. Last but not least, we got, so one thing with this card, I actually got it for a really good deal because, as you can see, it has a scratch. Now, when I listed this, I made sure that I took photos of this scratch. It's in the title, it's in everything. So they know that it is scratched. The last thing I want is for this buyer to come back and say, it was damaged in shipping by being scratched. Well, it was already scratched. Put it in the notes. Honestly, I got this card for a very cheap deal. I sold it for $20. This one, this is a Gem Mint 10. If this was not scratched, this is like a $35 card. And with these, with a bubble mailer, I'm still trying to figure out a little bit better with PSA slabs because I would love to put this in bubble wrap. Problem is it will not fit in the bubble mailer if I did that. So I'm probably looking at having to get a little bit bigger size when I do these slabs. But for now, basically what I do, I put a card in front of it. I mean, this is, again, like a dollar card. And then I put a card behind it. And this way, a person gets 2 extra cards. And it also, keeps it from getting any, the goal is to keep it from getting any extra scratches. And, it's in the bubble mailer. It's supposed to help that out, make sure it doesn't crack or anything. So that's my shipping method. Then we just take this, fold it down, voila. And right there and then, we got 5 shipments ready to go out. Just gotta add the labels. Thank y'all for listening. And tune in, like and subscribe.